Peace and love. I was reading this morning about in the Holy Quran of Mecca, Surah 2. No. It wasn't the Holy Quran of Mecca. It was the Aquarian Gospel. The Aquarian Gospel, chapter 75. It was talking about Lazarus' sisters. He had a sister named Ruth. Ruth was so impressed by the teachings of Jesus at Lazarus' house that she went back to her home. She was married to a Pharisee, and she was beginning to confess and follow the teachings of Jesus. As some of you may know, Pharisees, they was very opposed to Jesus' teachings. And so the Pharisee kicked her out of the house, right? Like, didn't want to have nothing to do with her or whatever, because they was so opposed to what Jesus was teaching. And so when Jesus talked to her, get back with her, he says to her that ignorance, something about how ignorance is something about how ignorance is at a greater level when people have a zeal about a certain thing that blinds them to the actual truth, right? I know I messed that up, but stay with me, okay? So Jesus is trying to tell her, no, you should have kind of kept that under wraps, like, just go live your life, let your life shine, let your example shine, being a better wife, being a more loving household individual. And through that, you could begin to tear down and wear down the hostility and what your husband thinks about his teachings. And so that was so profound, like a lot of times, some people, even now, you may go and some of the Christian ministers will say how they lost everything, abandoned everything for the sake of Christ, meaning your family, friends, and so forth. But that's not really the context, right, that we want to be giving off, because the real context of it is that you want to be able to have empathy enough to understand when you dealing with folks or dealing with people maybe coming against you, but they're coming against you out of ignorance, that they don't know better, that they don't have a clear understanding of what they're dealing with. And so a lot of times we have to baby it down. We have to talk a little babble. That shouldn't be, we shouldn't say babble, because like Babylon, they want to, make a I guess a bad negative mark about Babylon, but that's a whole nother thing. But we want to baby it down for folks sometimes. And by doing that, you are introducing them to think. Noble Drew Ali said, if I can get a man to think, right, he will save himself. And so I thought that was so profound, that here it is, our brother Jesus was instructing this young woman that, it's great that you understand the light and truth, but don't be so zealous that you go back and force everybody to follow. You don't do it that way. The way you do it is just live the life, like just live the life out of love. Otherwise, just be loving, show loving. I've seen folks that say, were following me or with me or communication with me when I was, say, maybe a zealous Christian. But now that I'm Islam, always was Islam, just didn't know it, because Islam is meaning walking in peace, walking in the love of God, walking in submission of God. When you have the right definitions, you understand things more clearly, right? But it's funny how people switch, right? And how people move, but that's out of ignorance, right? rather than they know the light that I show, they know my vibration, they know who I am, right? That doesn't change, right? My vibration out of anything has gotten more loving, and my light has out of anything got more receptive. You know what I'm saying? Except those who don't want to follow the will of God. But to end today, right? Whatever category, it doesn't matter whether it's we're talking about a religious teaching, or whether it's just simple business, or when you have knowledge of something that is greater than the audience that you have to deal with. Walk carefully, walk slow. No, be more patient. I guess what I'm saying. Be more loving, and learn to maybe find little ways where you can get them to think, right? And not so much thinking about just your words, but they're thinking about how you're moving and seeing how your life is progressing and how it's so much better. So peace and love. Hopefully that will encourage you today, right? That you could go on, keep shining, doing your thing, and accomplishing great things. It's Marshall, Talk Bills. I'll see y'all in the wind. Peace and love.